Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I think because of the Michael Jackson movie, no, it already came out. Yeah, it already came out. But no, because of this movie going viral and everybody talking about it, a lot of conversations surrounding Michael Jackson has been surfacing. And I mean, yeah, you have people sharing clips, making edits. I mean, people have been going crazy over Michael Jackson lately. And I think it's a good thing. I like it. I love all the Michael Jackson content. But there are going to be some negative people out there. And no, there is this video of this woman where she was like, Michael Jackson's music isn't all that good. Or I think, how did she word it? I actually did a TikTok video talking on it. I posted it on YouTube also. So if you guys want to just kind of briefly pause this episode and go watch that video real quick, you very well can. It's my latest Michael Jackson video. I think it's probably one of the only Michael Jackson videos that I have uploaded onto my main channel. But anyways, I think the only other like video or anything content creating related that I do have, I think I did a podcast episode a while back where I was talking about where I was at when he passed away. But no, yeah, let's talk on this this video. And then let's talk on the creator. And then let's talk on a comment that I got. I ended up deleting the comment because it's just, to me, I always find comments where people are trying to, I guess, defend what's being said. I find comments like that irrelevant. It's funny how they were trying to say that what I said was irrelevant, but overall, though, it's like, bruh, if it comes down between listening to your opinion or listening to Michael Jackson's music, I think the years and years upon years and the multiple fans, all right, will say otherwise on what matters and what doesn't matter. Nobody is on the internet for your opinion. People are on the internet. There's a corner of people where we're more interested into Michael Jackson's music. So yeah, let's talk on this this woman real quick. So anyway, she posts a video, probably was just doing it for clickbait, but was trying to go after Michael Jackson's his music, trying to go after him as a musician. And yeah, and it's just one of those videos where it's like, you know, if you can do something better or if you can name something better, then okay, do so. But when you just come out and say this this man's music is, like, you know, bad, no pun intended, yeah, how is it bad? You know, like, what is it that he's doing? Because when I watched his music videos, when I listen, I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory about how I got into his music. So sadly, it was after he passed away, but I do have memories of me and my family sitting around watching his Thriller video. And so it's kind of just like a Halloween tradition, you know, we'll watch his videos. So I had some memories of Michael Jackson before he passed, but after he passed, even if I can just repeat what I said in that podcast episode, if it does exist, of me talking about the day he passed, I think I did that episode. Hold on for a second. Let me just go ahead and check real quick. I think nope, that's not it. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I did it was like a combo episode where I talked on both Michael Jackson and Kobe Bryant. So I was like, I do remember talking about it. I just didn't remember exactly when. But anyways, if I could just talk on that day real quick, because I still remember that day, and that was all the way back in 2009. You know, so, and that to me, I'm like, when somebody has that much of an impact on you to where I didn't even really know of Michael Jackson like that. But I remember in the weeks after his passing, I was depressed. I am gonna lie. Like, I genuinely was depressed. Like, I remember I was sitting down, I was reading, because I remember I used to get these, I think it was like Muscle and Fitness magazines. I remember I was looking through that magazine and I just felt an immediate depression just come over me, just sitting down thinking about Michael Jackson. Because, no, so that day when he passed, I remember I was sitting in my room, I was watching the Wayans brothers. I even remember the exact episode that I was watching. It was the episode where Marlon was pretending to be a basketball player. I think it was John Starks, I believe. But anyways, I was watching that episode and my mom had called. She usually doesn't call me, you know, during the day, especially at that time. Like, she'll call me, but it's like something was different with that call and stuff. So anyways, she calls me. And she's like, did you hear Michael Jackson just passed away? I had no knowledge of, like, I guess, like, Michael Jackson, more so the legacy that he had built. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know how to respond to that. Like, I didn't really listen to the man's music. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, that was the conversation. But then, I remember I went downstairs because at the time we only had one computer in the house, and so I went downstairs. I went to go check online just to see if it was, true. Cause I know, at the death, hoaxes has always been a thing. But so anyways, I remember I told my dad, because my dad was downstairs, he was watching TV, and I told him, I was all like, yeah, mom just called and said Michael Jackson passed away. He didn't believe it. And so even he thought like it was fake. And so I checked online. I remember I checked Wikipedia. And no, yeah, it did have like his birth year. And then the day, what was it, June 25th, 2009. Yeah, it was like even then, yeah, it had the day that he died. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, man, this is it really happened. Then when my mom got home, I remember we were all just sitting down, just glued to the TV, and we're seeing all of these different things, like, or just people talking about Michael Jackson. I mean, every single news channel was talking about Michael Jackson. And so, yeah, and, I mean, they were just like, talking about his music, talking about, like what happened the day he died. I mean, it was, it was just, like they kept repeating themselves, but yeah, it was like, I don't think I have ever, excuse me, seen news coverage on a person that much since Michael Jackson. Like, there has been times where people have passed, stuff has happened, but I'm trying to think, I cannot think of a time where the news was just covering a person that much. All right, maybe there might have been some cases and situations. I ain't gonna say that they don't exist, but man, with Michael Jackson, I was like, that I had to say his passing, and it's just unfortunate, to say this, but I'm like, his passing is what got me into his music, because I grew curious. I wanted to know more about his music. I remember I listened to Billie Jean. That was at the time one of my favorite songs of his. And then after that, just watching his music videos, because I think, yeah, me and my family, we were watching a lot of his music videos at the time. And then that's when I started to realize like how much of an impact he had like put into this world. And so fast forward my adult years, they announced this Michael Jackson movie. Everybody's talking about it. And I assume that's probably the only reason why this girl did this video, to, I guess, like, kind of, I wouldn't really say it's to market or promote the movie, or, I think it was just more so to promote herself. But, yeah, fast forward, movies getting announced, talked about, coming out, all that stuff. And then, yeah, this girl decides to do this video. My question is to this girl, though, is how much of an impact have you left on the world? Like, I'm not trying to, disrespect her or say anything that's going to alter how she thinks of herself. But at the same time, for you to have an opinion on somebody that at the same age, I don't know, she looked like she was like 20 something years old. At the same age that that you are, when Michael Jackson was that age, he still had more of an impact than you. All you're just gonna be known for is the woman that got on TikTok and thought it was a good idea to say something bad about Michael Jackson, knowing the outcome of that, knowing what that could potentially do. My thing is this: do you have videos on the internet where they have over 1 billion views? You don't. Have you ever had like the best-selling album out there to where it's like, fam, it's in the record books? Like Thriller is in the record books. No, you do not. You ain't got that. All right. Then so I post a video and I was all like, huh. I was like, that's kind of just a wild statement to make. I would like to see, I guess her music, her musical background. I would like to see or listen to her music. So I posted that video. Of course, people liked it. People thought what I said was funny. Then I get this because I just posted the video on YouTube, and this guy comments talking about just because you're not a chef doesn't mean you're not allowed to criticize the food. And he was all like, your opinion is irrelevant. people clicked on my channel for my opinion. So that's why I'm all like, it to me, it's funny because I feel like that if it doesn't matter what I have said or what I would have said, you still would have clicked on the video. So obviously my opinion is relevant if you clicking on the video and you're curious about what my opinion is. You just don't happen to agree with my opinion, and that's okay. My thing is this: if you do not like Michael Jackson's music, I'm not going to take that away from you. But to make it seem like that's the only statement that you can, I guess can be looked at and trusting and all of that is by putting down this man's music. That's why I'm going to make comments like that, where I'm like, okay, you put out some good music. Even the guy that left that comment, you put out some music. I would love to hear your music. But the thing is this though. It is never, and I mean ever, whether it's Michael Jackson's first album to his last album to them albums that they released after he passed, you are never going to be on that same scale as Michael Jackson. Never. And I mean, for the rest of your life, you are never going to have an impact in this world like Michael Jackson. There is artists that has overall has surpassed Michael Jackson, probably with views, probably with album sales, awards, all of that stuff. There are still going to be diehard Michael Jackson fans. So they just, because they've been sharing clips of like the movie and stuff, of the movie, people trying to put out spoiler alerts and stuff. And I do have plans to see the movie. I just don't know when exactly I will see the movie. But I would like to see it eventually one day. I want to see it in theaters. I don't want it to be on those stuff where it's all like, I go ahead and see it on probably most likely, because it's just, I think my family right now, we ain't really, I don't know, like I should just go out and just see it on my own, because I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, the movie, it looks like it's gonna be, it looked like it's good and stuff, but they are showing people in the theaters dancing. There is somebody, and I'm like, fam, so let me just explain something real quick about this movie. It is his nephew, Jafar Jackson. I think that's how you say his name. It is his nephew playing as him, okay? And I think that's such a dope thing. I think that's a dope thing to have it where you have your own family playing as you and stuff. But anyways, he's playing as him, right? This person is in the theaters watching this movie, probably all just, sitting in their seat, just grooving to all the, because they're going to be playing his music throughout the movie and stuff. So they probably just sitting there. All of a sudden, they start feeling a little bit lightheaded. They start feeling weak in the knees. They whole body. It's just like, oh man, I slowly feel myself shutting down. Oh no, what's going on? This person passed out in the theater, not at the actual Michael, because there were fans back in the day passing out at his concerts. This person passed out at the sight of his nephew playing as him. You have to understand how much of an impact that Michael Jackson has left in this world, to where his nephew is playing as him. This person still passed out. They're like, nah, bro, I ain't gonna pass out at this theater. Nah. I'm like, I wasn't even, really alive to really see this man in concert and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know how old this person was that did pass out. But overall, though, it's like, man, I ain't gonna pass out this at this movie theater. Nah. There ain't no way. That's probably a good reason why I'm not seeing the movie. I never did see Michael Jackson live. I would have loved to have experienced that. But overall, I mean, that's another thing. Even speaking of the word they experience, it's funny how I just said that word and I thought they made a whole video game about dancing like Michael Jackson, fam. Back in, so I was like, a little fun fact about myself is that I used to play that game when I was younger. I think it was my sister, she asked for it, and then because it was a Wii game. And so, I was like, fam, I'm telling you right now, I was doing any and everything that I possibly could to set the highest record. Like, I was hitting those moves, bro. That is one game where I am like, I do not mind. Like, I was playing it right then and there in front of my family. I'm not a dancer. I don't dance. But when that game had came out, I'm telling you right now, let's just say the world would have been different and Michael Jackson would have been alive. I feel like that if that game would have been out while he was alive, it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, some part in my brain would have been like, you could be a backup dancer for Michael Jackson. No. you can be a backup dancer for Michael Jackson. I know I'm not. I feel like that Michael Jackson, when watching his videos, the thing is this, maybe it's just me gassing up Michael Jackson, because nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody. All right. Like, there is nobody in this world that is perfect. That's either here or not here. Michael Jackson's music videos, I felt like they were the most perfect music videos possible. Cause I'm telling you, like, even just watching the Thriller video, like, I've seen Smooth Criminal. I have to say probably my favorite video of his is the one with Chris Tucker, You Rock My World. That's one of those things where I'm like, cause they have like the short version of the video. Like, that's how you, his music videos felt like full-blown movies. And I think that's a lot of people, they argue and they say that Smooth Criminal is his best video. In my opinion, all of his videos is good. I'm like, I don't think that's one thing. I say that a lot with actors, is that there's those one actors where I'm like, have never seen a bad movie of theirs. With Michael Jackson, never seen a bad video of his, and it was, and it's crazy because how, like, when artists, when they come out with music after the person passes away and stuff, like, I haven't really listened to all of the songs that they had released of Michael Jackson after he passed, but there was this one particular, because they got two different versions. They got one with Justin Timberlake, and then they got just a regular version where it's just Michael Jackson. It's this song called Love Never Felt So Good. Bro, there's not too many times when artists, when they come out, like, after an artist has passed, and then they come out and the music just don't sound the same. But that particular song, that's a song where I'm like, that's how good that man was. To where even after the fact, I'm like, they're still releasing good music of his. And I'm like, man, that's why I'm like, to that girl, you're trying to go after Michael Jackson, yet you don't have absolutely nothing to show for. Then this person that's trying to defend her and things. And I'm like, look, bruh, you ain't gonna get with her. All right. You think by defending that your comment got deleted, so she ain't gonna never know who you are. I'm like, and if you say anything else crazy, that comment's gonna get deleted. That's one thing that will not be tolerated, is any, and I mean any, Michael Jackson disrespect. I didn't become a fan of Michael Jackson until after he passed, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that can also say the same thing, and even some people that was a fan of him beforehand. When you are a fan of somebody, you're obviously going to defend this person to the best of your abilities and stuff, right? That's one thing for sure, is that I can't call myself a true, legitimate Michael Jackson fan. Like, I feel like I can't even say, like, I'm partially a fan and stuff. I just don't even know how to, like, what to really consider myself, like, an Aftermath fan, because I'm like, I wasn't really a fan of him when he was alive. So that's why I'm like, man, I just can't really call myself a true, legitimate fan. But that's one thing about it, though, is that I cannot, like, because I make music myself, right? And that's one thing about it, is that even because I'm trying to think, was I making music at the time when he passed? I can't remember if I was or not. But anyways, my thing is this, let's just say that I wasn't that much of a fan of Michael Jackson, right? Let's say I wasn't a fan at all. Like, just, I didn't care for his music, the movies, nothing, music videos, nothing, right? Even then, I still would have realized, and that's the thing, I'm not going to put down my music. I'm not going to say that I upload or put out bad music, but if there's no way possible that I would be able to compare my music to Michael Jackson, and that's the thing. I'm like, I'm always going to look highly of my music. I'm like, there's at times where I'm listening to my music and I have my music on repeat. That's how highly I look at my music, okay? But comparing it to Michael Jackson, that's like comparing Earth to space. It's not going to be a fair fight. I'm like, Michael Jackson, that man, he is actually, when it comes down to music, that's the final boss. I'm like, if you could get through him, fam, you can accomplish a lot with your music. These people, they're trying to go after Michael Jackson and his music. Y'all haven't even gotten through the tutorial. You're still at the start menu. So that's why I'm like, fam, people trying to go after Michael Jackson and his music, we ain't, the thing is this, when you got music videos that's looked at as movies, full versions of your songs, short versions of your songs, movies, documentaries. I'm trying to think, what are some other things that, like, yeah, just the whole plan of being successful and being like literally one of the, if not the greatest, artists of all time. When you can surpass all of that, then that's when, and I feel like even then, you're not going to be sitting around disrespecting Michael Jackson. The people that like to sit around and disrespect Michael Jackson is people that ain't got nothing going for themselves. Because my thing is this. I'm not on no scale as of Michael Jackson, nowhere near. But the thing is this though, there's other artists and people out there where they're like Taylor Swift, for an example. I can't call myself a Taylor Swift fan, but that's one thing for sure. I'm not gonna say that I make better music than hers or her music sucks. You'll never catch me disrespecting Taylor Swift. I'm trying to think of some other people. Sabrina Carpenter. Who else is out there where it's like I'm trying to think of some Jelly Roll. I really don't know too much about him, but he do be appearing in wrestling and things. I'm trying to think of some rappers. I feel like I usually try to stay in tune with the rap scene, but dang, man, I can't think of no rappers right now. But I'm trying to think of some Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber. I'm like, I'm Justin Bieber. There's some of his songs where I'm like, okay, Selena Gomez, because I'm like, I haven't really heard too many of her songs. I think I might have one of her songs saved, and I think it's a song where she's featured on it. I don't even know if it's her actual song, but there's a lot of artists out there where I guess with me, I appreciate the art of music to where it doesn't matter whether you're a big artist or a small artist. I'm not going to disrespect you. If you come at me on some disrespectful stuff, then okay. Or if you're purposely trying to put out some bad music, then okay. But if I can see a person putting everything that they have into making music, fam, that's the best kind of music. I'm like, and with Michael Jackson, it's like you can't look at his music and be all like, oh, this ain't good. This isn't good music at all. Oh, I've heard better. I know you haven't. I'm like, there's nobody in this world that can say that they've heard better music than Michael Jackson. I'm like, yeah, there's probably genres that you're more interested in, and that's okay. Like, the thing is this, again, it is okay if you do not like Michael Jackson's music. I'm not going to take that away from you. If I'm having a casual conversation with somebody and we get to talking about music and I'm like, oh yeah, song I'm currently listening to right now is Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Yeah, I've seen these edits and all this other stuff. If that person's all like, I've never been that interested in Michael Jackson's music, I will probably jokingly be upset with them. But I'm not going to be upset with them. I'm not going to be all like, oh no, I'm, let's say if it's like, a family member, or yeah, let's just say I meet the love of my life. We get married, me and her, we have a whole happy life together. The whole thing, kids, family, pet, whether it's a cat or a dog, white picket fence, nice house, all that stuff, right? We sitting down and we're talking about music, or I'm flipping through the channels and then I'm like, oh, Michael Jackson video. And she's all like, man, she's like, babe, I've never gotten into Michael Jackson's music. Do you think it would be normal for me to be all like, I'm divorcing you tomorrow and I'm dead serious? Like, how dare you? Like, I'm not one of them types of fans, but I'm somebody, like I said, I appreciate music. I appreciate the art. I appreciate the whole thing. Everything's the whole, like every letter that builds the word music. But I'm not going to be that type of person where it's all like, no, I'm divorcing you. Like, no, you just going to really say that to me? I'm divorcing you and I'm turning the kids against you and the family, dog or cat. I'm like, I'm turning everybody against you. I'm like, you just verbally abused me. That's taking it too far. All right, that's taking it way too far. But if she's all like, if she comes out, she's all like, oh, I hate Michael Jackson's music. I'm like, dang, you just said that unprovoked. I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I feel like if anything, I want to know the origin story behind it, and there has to be a story behind it where it's like, oh yeah, like there's a time where I was stuck on a plane and somebody just kept playing Michael. I'm like, oh, that's why you don't. I'm like, yeah, I think it would be like that with a lot of different people where I'm like, you just hear their song over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm like, I've had nightmares of stuff like that where it's like you just hear the same song. And I know, I kid you not, there was a time where I was on the plane and I was dreaming. I think it was this because they had like this stuff called sleep water where it's supposed to like make you drowsy or some stuff like that. That water gave me some nightmare. It gave me a full-blown nightmare, bro. I was on the plane. I think I was heading back from Louisiana, and I had this dream where this like the music kept playing. I think I had paused the song. It was still playing. I unplugged my headphones. It was still playing. I took the headphones off. The music was still playing. Yeah, if it was like Michael Jackson, I probably wouldn't be that much of a fan either. But overall, though, I'm like, still though, I can't say that he uploads or he put out bad music. I'm like, yeah, again, no pun intended. But I'm like, like, I guess in a good way, that music was bad, okay? He literally named a whole album off of his stuff. That man, he purposely called his music bad, and it was still good, okay? I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't sit here and try to tell me or convince me that Michael Jackson put out not good music. Let's just say that. But yeah, I'm like, you out here disrespecting Michael Jackson. I'm like, yeah, you got some growing up to do, but anyways, with that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.